The purchase of Alaska turned out to be pretty darn valuable when a lot of people really critiqued those decisions. Bullish long-term, I guess bearish short-term. I think Mars is really enticing to think about, but regardless, we are a long way off from having land be worth anything on Mars. But I think long-term, it's absolutely appropriate to think about buying land on Mars in the same way that we think about buying land on Earth. And frankly, the early pioneers that valued land that nobody thought was valuable, i.e. the Louisiana Purchase or the purchase of Alaska, turned out to be pretty darn valuable when a lot of people really critiqued those decisions at the time. I think right now there's so many opportunities here on Earth that it's probably a little long dated until we actually see those opportunities realized on Mars. Bullish. Not in the sense that I have any particular metaverse that I think is compelling to buy land in, but compelling in the sense that I think space is going to be important in our virtual environment, in the same way that space is extremely important in our actual environment. Space is where you create things, right? Is where we experience things. It's where we live our lives. And if we assume that the metaverse is some corollary to our lives here on Earth, it will take place in space. I think there's an open question as to which space it will take place in, meaning there are many metaverses and not all of those spaces will be valuable. So I do think the metaverse is a place to look to buy land. I just don't know which one is the appropriate place where I would actually want to invest yet. So bullish on retail in the metaverse. We're going to want to treat our avatars in the metaverse in the same way we treat ourselves in the real world. And people like brands, they like fashion, and fashion sends a statement, it signals identity. And I think the same will be true in the metaverse. And so by that same corollary, there's going to be stores in the metaverse where our avatars are going to look to identify which fashion trends, which brands they want to be associated with. And I think there's actually always going to be a place for retail. So even that's a weird concept that we think of offline, everything is moving towards, virtual and, e-commerce. There's still this value of stores and being able to touch and see and feel a good. And while it's an odd and kind of imperfect allegory, I think the same will be true in the metaverse, meaning our avatars are going to want to see what the shirt that we're wearing looks like, perhaps on another avatar. And I think that's a really interesting use case to build retail in the metaverse.